Good morning, CNG 124 online. The discussions are going well. Make sure to keep submitting those as the week goes on. Once again, this week is rather light. And pre-warning, this video is probably going to be longer than expected. Longer than the other ones. Probably going to push my 15-minute mark. Keep those weekly reflections in. Remember that there wasn't a lot of assignments this week because you should be preparing yourself for next week and the 2 days after that, which are going to include your skills final and your regular final. Make sure that those conditions are ideal. And what I mean by that is I probably, if I was to take a test, I wouldn't do it wirelessly. I'd make sure I was at a station that I had an Ethernet connection to. Two factors can happen when you're doing wirelessly. Poor signal. Maybe that means that, I don't know, something happened with submitting the Part 1 exam or Part 2 exam. With these tests being 15% of your grade, I would make sure that, like I said, the environment was the best possible environment I could be in to take these, not waiting until Sunday. You know, possibly doing it if you have to take the test during the week, maybe do it at off times when people aren't getting ready for school in the morning and watching TV, or late afternoon in prime time, 5 to 8. I'll probably do it outside those hours just so you make sure that the least possible things can go wrong with these exams. Of course, if something does happen, you're going to have to prove what went on, and I would say make sure in any case you have your phone nearby. So if anything, power goes out, your internet goes out, you're able to sit there and start recording everything. If there's no pictures, no video, I'll probably deny a retake. Well, I will deny a retake. But having those pictures supports your argument for having the option to retake the test. Or I really just retake the test. Let's see. For exams 1, 2, and 3, make sure that you are submitting the Kaplan SNPs or snapshots. There's only been one person to submit those so far. Having a score over 70 will get your exams 1, 2, and 3 boosted to 100%. A lot of people don't take advantage of that, and then the end of the semester comes around. They're sitting at a 59, well, I guess 59, 69, 79, and 89. You know, and they're like, well, why don't you roll my grade up? Well, you know, why didn't you take the Kaplan and boost your grade out of yourself? You know, there's plenty of options in this class to get the grade you want. So at the end of the semester, I'm very hesitant to roll people over, since I said give you guys the chance to always achieve the grades you want. Workbook assignments, make sure you keep those workbooks. They can still help you in the future. There's a good part of it in the back, half of it I would say maybe, that we didn't do. Keep those for you just to keep refreshing yourself. If you progress in any other classes, you'll see the value of those workbooks. If you go on and take CCNA 1 and 2 or the Switches and Routers course here at Larimer, having that workbook will give you some review and give you a leg up in those classes. Keep on turning stuff in. It looks like I was looking at 1. Yeah, so VLSM 2 was kind of short on people. Usually we have a good amount of submissions there. Or no, that's 26. I thought there was one lower. Or maybe it was 3. Make sure you keep on submitting all those assignments. Get those in. Make sure if you don't have the grade you want, make sure you're attacking those higher value items first. I know they take a little bit longer than activities and quizzes, But you're going to see that grade move a lot better through that. Once again, quizzes 10%, activities 5%, discussion 5%. But then if you look at labs, they're 35% of your grade. And if you have 25 labs, I believe that's almost 1.5% for each lab you do. So turning those labs will start to move your grade up more quickly than doing a activity or quiz. For the final exam, I wanted to say that was open for one day or for the last 2 days. I forget what the... Oops, that one should have closed. Well, that one should have closed. Final exam, December 3rd through the 11th. Okay, so you have a week to do that. Once again, don't hesitate. Don't put stuff off. That's 15% of your grade. Once again, an ideal situation is something that you want to create so nothing can go wrong when you do this exam. Purchasing the Kaplan, going back to that, so I kind of jump around. Purchasing the Kaplan, you go to Front Range, and then go to Bookstore. Oops, go Bookstore. And then we want to choose the Larimer Campus Bookstore only. I can't stress that enough. You will not find it at the Boulder. You will not find it at the Westminster. It's only at the Larimer Campus Bookstore. Click it. Search 180 day. So 100. Either one. They're both the same. Basically, the 100-day online practice exam code is a universal code used for any and all tests that Transcender gives you. And if you go to kaplanlearn.com/login, after you made your account, login. I have a few that are in progress. You want to make sure that you sign up for the N10007 Network Plus. Sign up for that one. Practice it, rehearse it. This will get you ready for the CompTIA exam. Outside of this class, there's been a few questions about the MTA. I did have the MTA in the syllabus, but I ended up taking, I thought, all of it out. If you want to come to the Larimer campus and get certified in a Microsoft certification, the testing center has the ability to do this test. If they cannot accommodate your time, please reach out to me. I'll test you individually. We'll just have to set up a time, and hopefully don't give me a day's notice. Give me like a good week's notice so I can make sure I can accommodate that time. But I'll sit down with you and we'll go through your MTA certification in Network Fundamentals. This is a good certification that all students at Larimer campus, I should say almost all students at Larimer campus have. And I believe if you're online, you should also start partaking in this also, so you start walking away from courses with certifications. There's the standard grading policies, and if you look at your grades, you should see a letter grade next to your name in your grade book in D2L. If there's any questions at this point, make sure you're reaching out to me so we can address those as soon as possible. Though I will submit grades on December the 12th. They should show up December 13th after 6 a.m. I believe that's when all the servers should be updated at that point. You should see your final grade entered in eWolf. Do not look at D2L, because D2Ls are not final grades. Your final grades will be in eWolf. So make sure you log in and look at that. Once again, if you're at the cusp, 69, 79, 89, chances are if you didn't do Kaplan or you didn't do any extra credit, even the extra credit participation was extremely low. The chances are, did we do extra credit? I thought we did one extra credit. Maybe some discussions. So we had one extra credit. If you didn't do extra credit, chances are that I will not push those grades or roll those grades over. If you have any questions, feel free to call me, 970-204-8419. I'll be happy to talk to you about your grade or how to end the last week in 2 days. But other than that, have a good weekend. Make sure you're rehearsing for the final. And remember, there are restrictions on the final where you're only allowed an hour per skills test. Going outside that will disqualify that skills test.